Hello, this is Devin Roy, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about tip number 3 to my former self. It's never a good time to date. You see, when I was in high school, I wanted to focus on my studies, and whether or not that was a good choice at the time, eventually it became a bad choice. We tend to develop social skills early. And when those social skills depend on you actually giving some girl or boy attention, whoever you're attracted to, and you don't do it, you won't know how to talk to that person. And so, awkward me stayed awkward until, well, forever. That was a bad move. And then just after, or actually during college and just after, I decided maybe I'll wait until I'm a rock star, and then it'll be easy to get women. And so I just focused on doing music and then business, and then when that didn't work out, I was like, guess I should probably find someone. But I could have started a lot sooner, and I could have been happier a lot sooner. The thing is, dating is never convenient. You're always not prepared. You're not ready. It's a process, and it takes a lot of getting out there to know who you are. See, you don't know who you are until you have yourself reflected back at you. You don't know if you're being a jerk unless someone tells you. You don't know if you're being awkward unless someone tells you. You might have a hunch, you might have a suspicion, but it's not until you confirm it that you really know. And so get out there. What sacrifices are worth a true partner? You don't know. Reevaluate your life and see what you can sacrifice in order to put some time aside to start dating. Because the man or woman of your life is out there for you, and if you're stuck doing something else, you're going to miss out. We have a tendency to overvalue the present and undervalue the future. For instance, I really think it's like when I'm hungry, that's all I can think about. I actually had a snack before this because I didn't want to be thinking about it. I overvalued being hungry to get my YouTube video done because now I might burp on screen, which should be embarrassing. But my point in dating is you think your time is so valuable until you realize if you put some of it aside and position yourself in the right way and take the effort, then your reward is going to be a future that's far beyond what you could have done by yourself, hopefully. There's that burp I was talking about. There are some lame excuses out there. Anytime you have when or after, it's a lame excuse to start dating. When I get out of school, when I get more money, when I move out of my parents' house. All those are bad excuses because they have when or after. And honestly, it's always a bad time to date. It's a bad time to date when you get out of your parents' house too, because then you're moving, you're settling in. Oh, I gotta focus on settling in now. It's a bad time to do it during summertime. Well, I should really hang out with my friends and family and get a summer job. Getting more money? I mean, come on. Whoever has enough. Honestly, it's not that hard to make time. Nowadays, with online dating, it's just a matter of swiping right, swiping left. If you did it that long, you did it too long. Online dating is so quick. It's easy to send somebody a message, make it short, and just say, hey, I noticed this about you. It really doesn't take that long. Especially for us guys, we're the ones sending the messages, usually on a lot of these platforms, Bumble being the exception. Don't take too much time out of your day, and you can bang out 50 in a week. I mean, easy. And I say that so casually because I've done it. And I think my average was around 25 or so, because once things start rolling, you don't have the time you set aside to do online dating is taken up by doing the messaging and back and forth and actually building relationships. And so you kind of phase in and out of that. But yeah, your peak 50, and then you go on some dates and you come back to your peak 50. It's a long process. It took me, I think, a year and a half to find someone the last time, but now I'm married, so it worked. It's a success story right here. Don't wait to be accidentally found. You see, I get this more from women than men. They just want to position themselves to look pretty somewhere. And I'm not talking about in a bar. I mean, I'm talking purely hypothetically. They just don't want to pursue a man and they want to be pursued. And I get that concept, but it doesn't work at all. It's not practical, not in one bit. So if you want to put yourself out there, make conversations happen. The empty slot paradox. See, your schedule is like a bunch of empty slots. If you're filling it up with TV time, video games, social media, you're probably not looking like the most attractive person. Because attractive people, I mean, sure they do that, but the real winners, they do something productive with their free time. Whether it's building relationships, like in person, for instance, or they're making money on the side, or they're working on their health, like going to the gym. See, the most attractive of us do those things. The more time you have, the less hot you are. And so to find the balance is a real trick. Friends are one of those things that actually the time with them kind of gets sacrificed when you start dating, and unfortunately haven't seen it any other way. And we love to say, yeah, my friends come first because they were here first. Bros before hoes, hoes before bros. It's not practical. It just isn't. You're going to build up your time where you almost have none in order to be more attractive. And the paradox is, you need time to date. Get social and advertise that you are single. If you are single, you shouldn't have on your Facebook profile nothing, because I've seen that as a way to make yourself more attractive, because due to the empty slot paradox, single is boring. If you're taken, your life is more put together and probably more filled to the brim. So I got some pickup advice for those of you who are getting some social time. First of all, your opener. Start like you were having a conversation in your head and just share it. You know, you're sharing a thought that's in your head. Or you're taking the situation and saying, isn't it funny? She kind of looks like that chick from that Nickelodeon show, Victorious. You know the one I'm talking about? And the person does. That's a good one, because now you know they used to watch Nickelodeon, and maybe you did too. It's like you started in the middle of the conversation. You just are talkative, and that's who you are. And if you're not talkative, then it'll come across a little weird. But the more you get into it, the less that is a big deal. Trust me. If you have issues with people trying to steal your girl, steal your man, steal your target, then don't get jealous. Just steal the conversation. It doesn't matter whose attention they have now, as long as it's you at the end. I like to call mental dips. Make it a point to position yourself as someone that's attracted to that person. I wish I could give you an example, but all of mine are awkward. Like, I like your smile. It's attractive. That might be a little forward. Even just saying it out loud makes me nervous. My last tip for my pickup advice is to perfect the ask. Perfect how you're going to ask for the number or the information, or to say, are you on Facebook? Great, you seem interesting. That little line. whatever that line is for you. For me, I like to almost like think about it in my head before I say it. So I'd say, hey, remind me to get your number at the end of this conversation. I gotta send you something regarding what we were just talking about. Make it relevant. Lastly, I have some tips written down, ideas on how busy people can put more dating in their life that's not going to be too time intensive. And I'd like to give that away for free. Just go to my website. I'll put the link in the description. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was tip number 3 to my former self. It's never a good time to date. So start ASAP. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Where's this thing?